everybody, welcome to Dakman Productions and welcome to Conahey Rail. And this is going to be a Dakman Productions podcast type of video. And we're going to touch on a few different subjects here today and talk to my viewers. I haven't done a podcast in a little while. Figured it was time to do one. So first things first, I would like to thank everybody who subscribed to the Dakman Productions channel. Also, like to thank those who liked the Dakman Productions Facebook page. So I do both places. I'm a little old-fashioned, so I don't do like Instagram currently and other things. So right now I'm just on Facebook and YouTube. I've been thinking about the idea of having a website, but I'm not 100% sure on that yet. But at any rate, so the next thing is, once again, I'd like to thank those who subscribed. It's been so great. I mean, I'm over 7,500 subscribers now, and climbing towards that 8,000 subscriber mark. And when I check my analytics, it's kind of funny when I look at the analytics, which is, it shows how your channel is doing on YouTube, you know, the views and stuff like that. And I'm still blown away about how there's 80% of the people who watch my videos are not subscribed. If you like my videos, please subscribe to my channel. If you find yourself watching my videos over and over again, just consider subscribing, please. It helps the channel out so much when you do that. And you know, I'm thinking probably my subscribers would be a lot higher if those 80% did subscribe if they liked what I was doing. So it just, I don't know. But if you're afraid of notifications coming on your computer or jamming up your phone every time I post a video, well, there's a separate feature for that. It's called the notification button. So if you don't want those notifications, but yet you want to subscribe, you can do that. You can subscribe to my channel, hit subscribe, and just don't click on the bell button. So if you don't want, you know, those notifications popping up on your computer or your phone, you can still subscribe and not have that happen. So that is another thought. Also, want to mention, I finally kicked off the Dakman Productions store once again after, I would call it a complete failure, but last year in 2019, I started that venture, the Dakman Productions store, with a different company, and I was not happy with them at all. The way they did things, they didn't give you a store, you were all much on your own. The production wasn't that great. I was always lagging. The way they listed things for you was in limited quantities for no reason. I don't know. It was just a mess. I was so discouraged that I shut that store down. A few people did buy it from me before I shut it down, and walked away. And so fast forward to 2021, I noticed that a lot of YouTube users were going with the Teespring store, and I tell you, I've been really happy with Teespring. They're great. They supply you the store. Their production seems to be right on par. It doesn't take that long to get anything. The turnaround's pretty good. The shipping seems a little reasonable. So I'm happy with the Teespring store. So I'm going to keep going with it. And so I am showing you a sample today. This is one of the new shirts that I put together on the Dakman Productions store. So this is the sample. This is in a smoke gray. There's multiple colors you can choose from. If you don't like this color, there's other colors. If you like yellow, orange, green, blue, whatever, they got tons of colors on there. Sizes. People generally ask, do they have 3X, 4X? Yeah, Teespring goes all the way up to 5X, so they'll have your size, all the way from small to 5X. So, and I've been doing a couple different designs here and there, so make sure if you don't see something you want, check back, because I'll probably put something up. I will come out with limited edition shirts once in a while. I just did a St. Patrick's Day, Conahey Rail St. Patrick's Day shirt. So that's only going to be in the store until the end of this week. Basically the last week of March, that Saturday, I will pull it. So that's a limited edition. It will not stay in the store. But there's other designs I'll come up with, and if there's something you guys want to see, just let me know, and I'll put it up in there. Next, wanted to cover a little bit about, as you noticed, I went to Northlands, and it was a fun time. It was a whole entire year before I went anywhere. I was stuck in the house, like most of us. And train shows, or the showstopper, everybody calls it. Train shows been closed down, and so Heath of Human City Junction, which is a YouTube channel, he does N scale, and he's just dabbling into Z now. So he does get some great things. So if you like N scale, Z scale, check out Human City Junction. He's a great guy. Been following his channel for about 6 months. He was the one who got me into doing live shows with crossed anchors, and finally getting into doing a joint venture live show with Mr. Pictavid. So it's been great. But I got to meet some cool YouTube channels out at Northlands. So that was a fun time. And it's always fun to visit places and, meet the, basically the YouTube model community people out there, as well as the YouTube model train community, YouTube creators, the creators basically of these model YouTube channels. It's so nice to see them and meet them. And, I try to, if I see a channel starting out, and if I like them, I put them in the what I call my model railroad network on the Dakman Productions channel. So there's been, because of the COVID shutdown, there's been YouTube channels here and there popping up, and I think that's cool. I think that's a good thing, because you get to visit their layout and see what they do, and everybody's got their own spin and their own twist on how they like to do things, and so it's nice to see. It's almost like visiting layouts. You can visit every layout you want, but they're not all the same. People who think they're all the same or say they're all the same are not paying attention to details. They might have similar designs or the same designs, but everybody does something different on there. They have their own spin, their own twist of what they want on there, or what they do, and so it puts a personal touch on it. And so I don't mind helping them out. And if you go to the Dakman Productions channel, the main channel, I have, you'll notice subcategories. You'll see one for like O gauge, G scale, other scales. So I got them all broke down. But if you go down if you scroll all the way down, I have what's called a model train railroad network. There is the channels that I try to promote and have become friends with and stuff like that. So that's been fun, and I know what you guys are saying. You're promoting the competition. No, I don't look at it like that. It cracks me up. Some of these channels, act like they don't want. It's a competition for them. They want all the, the views. They want all the subscribers, and nobody else gets any. I don't know. That's not how I look at it. It's a hobby. It's not a business. It's not a competition. It's to promote a hobby and keep it alive. And if you try to keep anybody else from coming in, then you're not accomplishing anything really. You want to get the people to come in, more people to come in and do this and do videos and do live streams and get involved with the hobby. And I'm glad that I see more people popping up, with doing YouTube and camera work and working on their model railroads and bringing that to the viewers. So I think that's a good positive thing. So if you're not promoting the hobby, then in my opinion, you're not really accomplishing anything. But that's just me. That's how I feel. So with that being said, brings me up to my next thing is, once again, to me, this is a hobby. This is not a business for me. This is not a competition. This is not, this is something fun for me to do after my job, after work, dude, as a getaway. And for those who don't know, I work in the world of the trucking. I'm a heavy-duty diesel truck mechanic. I work on big rigs. That's what I do for a living every day. So, sometimes it's rough, sometimes it's fun, and sometimes, it's tiring. And I've been doing this for 34 years of heavy-duty diesel truck repairs, engine repairs, and stuff like that. So it's not easy work. So this is like a getaway for me. I use model trains, and also a mechanic never stops. A mechanic in motion is always in motion. So you're Monday through Friday or Saturday, you're always working with your fingers, your hands. You're always moving around. You're always doing something. You can't you can't just come home and sit in front of a TV and watch it and just sit there. Not at least maybe for an hour tops. And then you're like, okay, it's back to work. What am I going to do? You're home. So that's why I do this. And I actually have more fun building my layout than I do running trains, because when you're running trains, you're just sitting there watching them. And, well, if you're doing circles anyway. So for me, when I come home, like I said, a mechanic in motion is always in motion. So I come home and I'll change this, I'll change that, I'll build this, then I'll sit down and look at it. All right, what can I do to improve it? Or what can I do to do something to it? And for those of you who've been watching Conahey Rail since the beginning of 2015, you'll see that it's come a long way. And I've done a lot of additions, a lot of major changes. And I'm not done yet. So that brings me up to, I don't want to get too far off subject. But trains and trucking sort of go together for me. So when I was a kid, I always had trains and trucks. Unfortunately, my parents treated my trains like it was a Christmas ornament. So I only got to play with my trains as a kid from the day after Thanksgiving until New Year's Eve, and then I had to pack everything up and we put it away in the attic, and that was it. The rest of the time I was playing with trucks, so that's why I got involved in trucks more than I did with model trains or the real world of railroading. Plus my uncle or uncles, I had like 3 uncles involved in trucking. One of them took me under his wing and it showed me the ropes. The one company he worked for at the time, they had nothing but Mack trucks. So that's where I learned how to, get around, find my way around the trucks. You showed me the different trucks and stuff, and actually showed me how to drive one. at the age of 15. And that's a whole different story, but my uncle was 6'3", and he was like every bit of 280 pounds. So he was a large guy. And I'll never forget when he showed me how to drive that old Armada Mac. He was turning the steering wheel. You know, had this big steering wheel on it. All right, your turn. I think he knew what was coming. Like, oh wow, that looked easy. I jumped in the seat, sat in the seat, put it in the gear he showed me to put it in, and I went to turn the steering wheel, and I couldn't move it. And he sort of like had a chuckle. He says, "You're not going to move that steering wheel like that." He says, "Only I can." He says, "If you want to move the steering wheel, you have to move the truck." I'm like, "Why is that?" He says, "It's got manual steering in it." I said, "Oh, okay. So that's how far back this goes." So I moved the truck, and sure enough, you can move the steering wheel as a truck. But you stop the truck, the steering wheel will stop moving for me. Of course, I was only 15. What I weighed? Probably a whole, maybe 65 pounds back then. I don't know. But that's another story. So model trains is a hobby for me, so that's why I don't aggressively get into it like a channel that's being paid by a sponsor or by a a manufacturer or whoever. If I'm tired that one day and I just can't do it, I don't have to, and so so I try not to tie myself down to a situation where I need to get this done or need to get that done, because let's face it, I got other things to do. So I love don't get me wrong, I love bringing this to the viewers, but I have life, and I wish I could pay somebody to come over and trim the trees and take my trash out and sweep my floors and do the dishes and do the laundry and trim the bushes, cut the grass, vacuum the carpet. Sure, I would like to have enough money to be able to have somebody do all that, but I don't. So that's why I can't commit to, that's why I can't commit to a weekly live show. And besides that, you guys can see me on Cross Tankers and also the large scale consolidated live show, which me and Andrew's doing, and that's probably about as far as I'll go into a live show. I might pop up with a live feed here and there, but it won't be consistent. So I hope all the viewers understand that. And so that's why you'll see once in a while I'll pop a video in of a truck, and everybody's probably like, "Where's this going?" I thought he was model trains. I like to show off a little bit of what I call my true world, the world of trucking. And so I'm sure many of you are thinking, well, if you like trucks so much, how come you're not sitting there building a model truck instead of running trains? Listen, the last thing I want to do when I come home is build a model truck. I've had enough of trucks when I get home, and that's why I have this. This is something different for me to do. Sadly, I haven't built a model truck since I was a kid. And every time I think about it, I'm like, nah, not interested. But, then I'll come down here and run trains, work on trains, and that's what I do for my fun, my getaway. Building a model truck is not a getaway for me. I'm just doing the same thing I did at work, only in a smaller form. That's how I feel. That's me personally. So, but I would like to mention that the combination of both worlds for me, it's still kind of fun. Like I said, trucking can be fun. It can be hard. But I always thought about getting just for show or to set it up somewhere, a Lionel Johnny Cash Trains and Trucking set, all complete. And For me, I think that fits my personality perfect. So one day I would like to find one, not at a ridiculous price. I'm not going to pay $1,000 for a Lionel Johnny Cash trains and trucking set, but if I find it reasonable enough, I'll get it. And so that brings me up to Conahey Rail updates. So I will be moving forward. Just remember, Conahey Rail was never meant to be my main focus. It only became my main focus in 2020 when the showstopper happened. I had no other, places to go to bring video footage, so I turned around and started focusing on Conahey Rail. So now people are used to seeing, me doing things on my own layout. In the past, I just brought the main focus of Dakman Productions was promotion, hobby promotion. Promoting the dealers, promoting the shows, promoting the clubs. And I would only do Conahey Rail as a filler, so if there was too long of a stretch between shows, then I would do a video of Conahey Rail. But other than that, I didn't focus on it like I have for 2020, which kind of is a good thing because I got a lot done in 2020. As far as the layout improvements and stuff like that. So, when the shows start again, you'll probably see a little bit less of Conahey Rail, but I'll still use it as a filler. Also coming up, somebody donated. I have a donation button on the Dakman Productions YouTube channel. Somebody did donate to the channel. I thank you very much for that donation. As promised, the donation will be used for Conahey Rail for updates for video. So what I'm going to do with that donation is I'm going to buy 2 left-hand switches, and I'm going to complete the crossover from main 2 to main 1 so I get the Crystal Ice House with a switcher. And so I'll use the money for that. Also, I have a special unboxing coming up of custom runs from public delivery track. Beth Marshall is the one who runs it, but I won't give away of what it is. It's a limited edition and it's a custom run, so only public delivery track will have these items. I'm going to finish purchasing today online, and hopefully they get here within a reasonable time. I'm thinking maybe a week, because they are out in California and I'm in New Jersey. So depending on how soon I get these items, of course, depends on how soon I get up the video. My guess is I'll probably get the stuff from California faster than I'll get the stuff faster than I get my 2 switches. My 2 switches come out of New York. Every time, and it's not the seller's fault, but every time I buy something out of New York, it gets held up by the post office. And anybody who's dealt with the post office knows it's been bad and for the last year, and maybe even worse now than it ever was. I don't know, but it's been pretty bad getting deliveries, especially out of certain areas. And every time I try to get something out of New York, which normally is 2 days tops, it takes a week and a half. It sits there for 3 or 4 days, goes to a different post office in New York, sits there for 3 more days, goes back to the original post office in New York, sits there for another 3 days, then gets shipped to another post office in New York, sits there, and it just goes back and forth for a while before it finally gets on a truck. I don't know what they're doing out there. They are totally messed up. But, I hear complaints about FedEx as well. I don't know about UPS. I haven't heard too many complaints about UPS. I think they're probably the only ones that got their stuff halfway together. But in my opinion, you're taking a chance of getting your stuff used as a football, because I haven't gotten anything from UPS that wasn't crushed, smashed, dinged on one end or whatever. But so, oh well. That's what's nice about being an independent channel. You can talk about things honestly and not have to worry about, your sponsor saying, you can't say that. Watch me. Everybody has a right and they're entitled to their opinion. But you'll find that sponsored channels cannot basically say their true opinion, even if the thing's a total piece of garbage that they just got. They gotta say, they can't say that. They gotta say, well, it's not such a bad model after all, a little bit here and there. No, it's a total piece of crap. Say that to the viewers so they don't buy it. But, oh well. That's just my two thoughts. So, once again, I just wanted to pop up this podcast. Sorry for the lengthy podcast, but it has been a while. I enjoy chatting with everybody in the chat on the live feeds on the YouTube channel. I enjoyed meeting people in person at the Heath's event, the meet and greet at Northlands, and I hope to meet more people out there once the Showstopper opens back up. I'm planning to be back at Greenberg, and also before I go, I have another sample that I ordered. Once again, it's lost in the mail. Don't know why, but oh God, the mail system. Why? That's all I got to say. It's supposed to have been here 3 days ago. And they changed the delivery date. They changed it. Now it says to be determined by the delivery carrier. It's not even a date. It's like, what happened to my package? It just went, poof. I don't know. But once it gets here, I also have a different design, a Dakman Productions. And it shows a film reel, and I'll show that off when I do my unboxing or the next video. I'll show it then. Hopefully I'll have it back by then. And but anyway, thank you for watching Dakman Productions podcast, and we'll catch everybody later. Bye.